think the mid matchup especially, you know, Aurelia versus Yone, these are two champions that can't really afford to play safe. So when there's ganking junglers in the lane, you have to be really careful of the fact that they're just going to be around mid the whole time, and you've got to really trade with them in mind.
Definitely lots of excitement coming up on the menu. Frank Esports going up against S9W for the first match of tonight. Let's get into the Rift. I am so excited for this match.
Yeah, I mean, these comps, man. We haven't seen anything quite this crazy so far. A Pretender actually opts for the exhaust, so obviously is much nicer for the 1v1, but it can be difficult. You know, laning mid without TP has its own challenges, and also in the mid game can be difficult too. So we'll have to see how that kind of ends up panning out. Also the cleanse onto the Kai'Sa, so really respecting, excuse me, I guess the CC coming out of S9W. What do you think? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan. I think that there's a lot. There's just a lot.
Yeah.
And especially like stuff that isn't quite as dodgeable, like, for example, the Renata ult, which you can pretty much assume is going to hit you at some point in the game. It's going to be good to have that. Pretender might just...
What? Oh my god, man. What? Oh my.
So I shouldn't laugh as much. First blood going over to Pretender at 1 minute 30 into the game. Columbia had a flash up there as well, but for some reason chooses not to expend it, and Pretender's just gazing to himself now.
Yeah, I see that on his cam.
It's such a huge start for him in this Yone versus Aurelia matchup.
Yeah, that is really, really weird, to be honest, because I feel like, you're down a combat summoner at level 1, and also like Yone, I feel like versus Aurelia, the only time it's really good for you is at very early levels, right? Before Aurelia can kind of start stacking. Once you get the Bork, obviously, or the Bork components, the Vamp Scepter, it's extremely good for you. So, I mean, Calumnia, I really feel like they were set up for success and then just kind of lost it at the only time you possibly could. Now, there still is potential that he can do. Let's just see this.
Let's see how exactly this unfolded. Pretender ordering once, ordering twice, ordering 3 times, pops out the Q, lethal tempo procced. And oh my goodness, is he going to be able to pick it up? I think he does, just with the edge of the 3rd Q. Thumbs down, Saus emoji. I think he's just a bit confused as to how that's happened for him, but obviously going to be happy to take that at this stage in the game.
Yeah, I think Calumnia also really greedy just not to flash, because, if you take that trade and you TP back, you're actually in an okay spot, right? Because Pretender doesn't have any TP, but the fact that it's just the worst possible outcome, right? Like, you go down, you don't really trade anything, you don't get anything out of your TP. It's still finding the ability to push the wave, which is nice. God bless that champion.
Yeah, Pretender, up in gold, but hasn't been able to cash that in quite yet. So still relatively equal power levels, actually, for the mid lane. Still a lot of opportunities for the junglers to try and mess around and see what they can do. Hollow is hovering in the area, going to pick up that bot lane scuttle, whereas Via sitting around the top lane. Kai'Sa goes in on White. Cleanses popped a bit too early. Knight dropped down. And a really good trade from the side of Frank Esports. Hollow actually finds him. Electric Proc does finish him off. Carries popping the thumbs up. He's going to be on the run now. I don't think Hollow is going to be able to pick this up. But again, S9W crumbling just a bit too early before they can even get going.
Yeah, Frank Esports really taking advantage of the volatile lanes here. Oh, Pretender could actually be in trouble. That's a flash.
Pops the flash. Good respect flash. I think if he didn't do that, he would have definitely been in trouble.
Yeah, so in bot lane there, YJY, he lost both his sums in that fight before, and then Hollow was kind of just able to pull up and kill him. Actually might redive.
Yeah, he's still here. There's no vision for S9W. Kaiwing is just going to probably just walk straight in. Hollow should take the aggro first with the repel available. Does drop a lot of damage down to carries, and YJY taking a lot of damage as well. Renata W is popped. Kaiwing forced to flash away. Doesn't drop down. YJY sitting on a sliver of HP. No support in sight. I wonder if we'll try and run towards... Oh, Kaiwing.
Oh, no.
Dies to the sapling via with the drive-by kill. And YJY does survive this time. And Calumnia picks up Pretender as well in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So actually evening that one out. So much action already. And solo kill might even be looking on Rel here as well. Takes a lot of damage. Deals a lot in return as well. Both top laners sitting very low HP. And the wave is stacked in solo kills. Favor, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a good position for him.
TP. Wow, what a wild game. I mean, the bot dive, I feel like, might have been misexecuted a little. I think it would have been better to kill... Okay, we're actually going to watch the mid play. So Pretender just ends up too far in the lane. Doesn't manage to get the reset. Gets flashed on. So nice trade back from Columbia. It's pretty important, honestly. Otherwise, you would be at a pretty big deficit.
Gets stopped by the minions. That actually hurts a bit because now Relhi is back in lane.
Yeah, you could just get flashed on if he's not careful.
Yeah, I don't think he has quite enough kill pressure, but
He's almost 6.
that's true. He is very close to getting that explosive cast, but Hollow is now in the area. Ooh, body slam. Does get stunned up by the counter-strike. Hollow's here now. I think they do have the damage to finish this off. No CC available anymore for Rel here. Does drop the flash, but is still going to get picked up by Hollow.
Ooh.
That last auto attack sealing the deal. And once again, you know, we've already had action across all 3 lanes.
Yeah, wow. Hollow's just everywhere. I mean, the man's 3-0. Just kind of farming champions at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's really is all over the place. Already picked up the Sork shoes for himself as well, so we're really quite strong and able to move around the map very quickly.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see a replay on the bot dive, but I guess just so much stuff has happened that we don't have time to look at it. But yeah, mid lane, Pretender's going to be a bit careful. It is quite close to Aurelia's tower. She has a lot of room to run you down and has the ultimate. Now, I think Columbia does have to respect the fact that Hollow is somewhere around the map. You know, at least can kind of be everywhere at once, especially when she rushes boots and has 3 kills. You know, it makes it quite difficult to play aggressively into that. But I think once Hollow is spotted out, Columbia can get very aggressive in this 1v1. Botting as well, trading quite a bit.
Yeah, it seems to have died down a little bit for now, as both teams sort of waiting for their summoners to come back online. While he's waiting around, I think he was spotted by that pink ward, so S9W should know that he's in the area, and Fear looking to try and match is 1 level down though.
Yeah, I don't think... Ooh, Columbia, he hits the stun.
Oh, Columbia might be in trouble. There's a timing issue here. Frankie Sports going to get a lot of damage down onto Columbia. Gets stunned up. Pretender doing as much as he can. Does pick up that kill as well, and Fear's just a little bit too late. Pretender looking to see if he can pick up Fear as well. Does get that double kill, and that is a huge boost for the Yone.
Yeah, I think the exhaust there really did wonders, and Columbia perhaps just going in a little too soon. You have to feel that if he just waited a little bit, Fear would be able to be there and help him out. But another disastrous 2v2 loss. Yeah, so Columbia engages this really, really early, and I think also you got to consider this exhaust cooldown. If you can go in, bait it out, and disengage, it's a lot better. But yeah, now it doesn't really have the ability to disengage and loses so much HP before Fear's Maokai can even get here. And then Fear as well going down on the backside of this after committing his flash going forward. It's a disaster. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, and picking up the Dragon as well. Just so much for the side of Frank Esports. Now 2k hitting gold at 8 minutes in the game. And it's starting to look like S9W really falling behind.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them. The Dragon's gone down. They haven't lost the Herald yet, but right now, I don't think they get priority in any of their 3 lanes, which is a difficult place to play from, especially when Hollow on the Elise can just look to dive pretty much anywhere on the map at this point. Bowling could be a bit difficult, but at the same time can just play towards that Herald.
Yeah, Pretender and Columbia just juggling around for mid lane for now. Columbia is up in CS, but Pretender obviously up 2 kills. And Frankie Sports now turning their sights to the Herald. And it seems like S9W aren't really keen to respond at all. They're focusing on the bot plates instead.
Yeah, I think this is the best type of Herald, where you can just get it with your jungler soloing it, and you don't really need to commit a whole lot of resources. Actually,
Watcher might get stunned up. Does still have the cleanse available, pops the ultimate as well, but Pretender is in the area. No Yone ult available, so both teams going to step away.
Okay, I actually think that's pretty important. If Hollow does... Yeah, I was going to say, if Hollow does decide to go back bot, the cleanse could potentially be punishable. Instead, it's going to look top. I'm not sure this is the best use of time.
Yeah, the Cocoon is already wasted. Rel here just going to walk that one out. Pretender looking for a lot of damage onto Columbia on the back end of this. Looking him down very low. Now Columbia is in danger. Hollow, they're still looking for this top dive, actually. Cocoon is back up, stunned up.
Okay, Hollow just does a million damage.
Yeah, taken down. Rel here has no recourse at all. And even on the mid lane, Frankie Sports feel like they still have control, and it's just getting worse and worse for S9W. They're getting outmatched.
Yeah, you kind of just see the fact that your whole team is winning here enables you to make plays that you wouldn't normally be able to. You know, your jungler is so strong that you can kind of just one-shot Rel here under the tower. You've got so much bot priority that Kaiwing can be forcing Columbia off the mid lane tower. Pretender here, though, could be in trouble. Does not have the exhaust.
He is looking for it. Does get locked down by Columbia. Ooh, Root isn't quite in range. Pretender going to use that flash nice and early on.
And Yeah, the Rift Herald hitting the second top tower at 10 minutes in the game does feel a little bit bad, and Frank Esports find themselves with a 5,000 gold lead already. Let's have a look at this gold difference. Where is it? Oh, it's gone.
It's off the charts. It's already too,
Off the
too
charts.
big for Frank Esports. They're going to do another Galaxy, and really, it feels like, you know, I was actually expecting the bot lane to be the most volatile, but these guys, you know, after the first few minutes, have kind of simmered down a little bit. Kind of just taking turns, trading plates, trading waves. But you have to feel that that's still pretty good for Frank Esports.
Yeah, and while they've managed to trade a little bit of gold back onto this bot tower, I don't think it's enough. Frank Esports is so strong. Although I think, honestly, can just... You know, he heralded top, broke the top tower. He can probably just break both bot and mid purely by ganking. You know, it doesn't even really need the herald. They might actually look for a 3-man onto Calumnia, or perhaps a 4-man onto the bot lane instead. They are in the area, and it's very difficult for S9W to actually match the play. At the same time, they're so far behind that trading doesn't really feel like an option.
Yeah, Fear gets spotted on the top side as well, so Frank Esports are feeling pretty comfortable in pressuring this bot lane tower. They've worked pretty hard to secure the sort of bot side jungle and river control as well. You can see Hollow clearing out pretty much their last ward, giving S9W some sort of semblance of what he's up to.
And Calumnia completes the Bork, as well as Fear completing the Demonic, so having some spikes come in here, it's just whether or not it's too little too late. Next Dragon is in a minute. They might try and contest this, because honestly, if you're S9 here, you don't have much of hope of scaling into this game, right? Like, I think you're too far behind to play for a scaling win condition. Calumnia, though, could be in trouble.
Yeah, Pretender shoving this wave in pretty quickly. I wonder if Calumnia actually knows Hollow and Kaibing are in a good position, and no one in this team is really close enough to help him out. If Frank Esports can execute on this, but going to choose to... Ooh, they're still tossing it up, but I think the window is probably gone now.
Oh, Fear might be the target instead.
Oh, Sapling.
Oh, wisely checks.
Yeah, good heads-up play from him. Hectic Drake is coming up in 40 seconds, and as you said, S9W, they probably will just have to look to contest this out of desperation. If they don't, it only gets worse for them as the game goes on.
Yeah, I feel like they won't end up contesting, but I really think they are just kind of delaying the inevitable if they don't. They potentially can do something with Bork completed on Calumnia's Aurelia as well as that Demonic on Fear's Maokai here. And they are taking control, so I kind of like this move from S9. Admittedly, you don't have a lot of options at this point. Wow, as his name suggests.
There's nothing even to talk over there. Relia just gets taken down by a solo kill. Kaiwing looking like he's going to get engaged on now, but you don't really want to be engaging on the tank. Leona not only loses pretty much no HP, Eminem trying to do what he can on the backside of this. Kaiwing pops his stopwatch and drops very low. Forced to disengage for now. Pretender is still full HP though and does have the ultimate available.
Oh, Hollow actually goes down.
The Sapling takes down the Stray Spider. Hollow, after burning the flash, still falls down. S9W managing to pick up at least one kill on the back end of that.
Yeah, I think it was actually a really important stopwatch from Kaiwing there. Managed to deny...
Oh, Relia.
The tier 2 tower is going down 13 minutes 30 in. I wonder what the gold lead is for solo kills Jax right now. It does have a just huge amount of gold, and the gold lead is already ballooning, you know, up to 7,000 at only 14 minutes. And we were saying coming into this, you know, Frank Esports, they averaged 2k gold lead at 15, and the other side, S9, down 2.5.
Pretender taking so much damage from those saplings. Still pretty scary, but let's take a look at this Dragon Skirmish.
Yes, I think in this fight, Calumnia might have just gone in a bit too early, and I think also a lot of engage committed onto Kaiwing's Leona, and I think he probably could have gone on Hollow here. I feel like he was kind of out of position, but instead, you know, Calumnia gets taken very low, and the stopwatch from Kaiwing denies anything more from coming out. So I think Frank Esports, Hollow gets sniped at the very back end of the fight, but yeah, just a bit cleaner executed from Frank Esports. I actually think S9 had a window there, that maybe you could have just killed Hollow early. And sure, perhaps you don't win the fight, but you can trade evenly, which is pretty good when you're this far behind.
Yeah, they did attempt that, but ultimately execution was just not there. Frank Esports picking up the second dragon.
We have a working goal difference now. And it's, I don't think S9 have been ahead at any point in the game, because actually, if you remember, Pretender solo killed Calumnia at level 1, right, as minions spawn. So I think they've had a gold lead pretty much since minions spawned.
Yeah, and I have to go back to Relia's TP as well. He did use that before it turned into the empowered TP. So it means that it's going to be on an even longer cooldown. So lots of time wasted from solo kill. Looking in on Calumnia here, just going to auto him. Bonking him with the lamppost. Is going to survive this time. Flash saved as well on the side of Calumnia, but sent back to his fountain for now.
And Fear, he wants to get a Scuttle Crab. I'm not sure he's going to be allowed it though. He could be out of position.
Does flash away from the Solar Flare, but still gets stunned up regardless. Kaiwing looking on him. He is still alive, but not for long. Kaiwing picks up that kill.
Nice flash from Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem auto-attacking like crazy. Rel here pops out the explosive cast. TP coming in as well. Solo Kill is here to party. Calumnia trying his best on the back and actually drops some people very low, but Eminem picks him up. And S9W, Fender's still looking for more damage. Does have the Yone E to bring him back to safety. Once again, Frank Esports, no casualties on their end.
Yeah, S9 really just running out of options here. I think that after Veer's caught out, you know, he's honestly probably your strongest member of your team right now. So him dying for free at the start of the fight, there probably just shouldn't be a fight after that. You probably just spread out, try and keep farming. But ultimately, they kind of, yeah, I guess they feel pretty desperate, and I can understand that. Calumnia tries to go in, but he just doesn't really do enough at this point to really make a difference. Did leave a lot of people on low health.
Indeed, 8k HP, a good effort from Calumnia in that fight, but the rest of his team, you know, already wasn't available to follow up. Once again, too little too late. Feels like Frank Esports are really running away with this game.
Yeah, they just have so much control, you know, able to start just taking over the jungler. Fear's gonna find it very difficult to continue to farm into this game, and feels bad for him because I don't think he's had the worst game here. He's honestly performed kind of fine, but the lane's just kind of falling apart around him, and now he's really going to suffer the effects of that. Unable to pick up some more important CS. Now, the next Dragon's in 2.5 minutes. I think S9, they can still stall this game a fair amount of time if they want to. I'm just not really sure you gain a whole lot by it, because I really don't think that you're ever going to scale into this game. At the same time, though, can you really win a fight right now? Doesn't really feel like it, right? I think you just get stat checked. So probably their best option is to just try play for a pick somehow. It's not easy, though.
It does feel like they're very much dependent on Fear's saplings to at least bring them back some control in this jungle. But Frank Esports, it feels like they don't even care. Rift Hill dropped in the mid lane. Only 3 members right now to defend, and I think this tower is going to go down. Pretender finds a knockup onto carries and dropping him half HP. Fear uses the Maokai ultimate just mainly as a zoning tool so they can take down that Rift Herald before it gets the second charge on the end of tower, because that would be pretty disastrous.
Yeah, and actually playing to get all 3 tier 2s before Baron is even spawned. So pretty impressive pace here from Frank Esports. I like how much pressure they're putting on.
Ultimate popped on Pretender, doesn't quite connect with anyone, but he's going to get brought back. Probably will stay alive here, dropped pretty low. Shield bow, but wait, 3-man stun from Solo Kill, taking down 2, and now the rest of the team is just following up. Fear looking to see if he can get out of this one, but not quite. Eminem on a killing spree, and double kill for Solo Kill as well. YJY, the only remaining surviving member for now. Calumnia on the other side of the map, trying to see if he can get really anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a depressing sight, right? There really isn't a whole lot you can do. Frank Esports now up 11,000 gold at 18 minutes.
Oh, man.
And I really like the pace that Frank Esports are playing this. You know, it's very easy here, I think, to just, you know, chill out a bit, kind of get your guaranteed win once Baron and Dragon comes up. But here you can see, I mean, Pretender, he goes in, gets a lot of resources out, and then Solo Kill, he finds the angle to just flash onto 3. Really nice engage from him. Yeah, they just all follow up and pick up a ton of kills off the back end of this.
It's not often that you see a 3-man stun re-engage from the Jax, but Solo Kill, he makes it possible. YJY forcing to burn the cleanse as well as the Xayah ult as well. Not going to be easy for him in this next coming fight at the Chemtech Drake.
Yeah, 20 more seconds. S9, I feel like you really just don't have any options. You're down 10,000 gold. Maybe you could try Sneaker Baron or something, but do you even have enough DPS for it? I'm not sure you do. And if anyone finds you, you just die on it straight away. Could maybe cheese someone in the side lane here, which is what they're looking for. Solo Kill, though, honestly might need more than 3 people to take down. It's very, very strong.
Yeah, Divine Sunderer and Blade of the Ruined King completed already before it's even 20 minutes in the game. Definitely a very scary Jax, and not one I'd like to come up against. S9W trying to see if they can wrestle back some control in the topside jungle. Solarfed goes wide, but still slows YJY. He is stunned up, doesn't have the cleanse available or the ultimate, so forces the Renata Glask ultimate. Calumnia trying to see what he can do on the sidelines here, but again, Solo Kill just going crazy on the backline. Dropped very low, but he's got the teammates back him up, Eminem and Pretender, just taking them down and evaporating them from the map. eliminating them from the face of the earth. Double kill once again for Eminem, and that's a clean ace for Frank Esports.
Yeah, and I think if they're bold, they could maybe even just go for this 20-minute Baron, which I think they will. So, yeah, I mean, this game honestly doesn't have a whole lot more in it. They're coming up pretty close on 13,000 gold lead at 20 minutes, which is pretty insurmountable. And there, solo kill, he just found that amazing flash in. I actually think the start of it wasn't too bad for S9. They kind of had them in that choke. Got a pretty good Renata ult, but they're just so weak. Frank Esports have to make some colossal error for S9 to ever win a fight at this point. We'll take a look at it again. Yeah, so YJY actually gets engaged on without having cleanse, so he's kind of forced to go out early. The Renata ult is good, but there's just no real damage follow-up in here. Grouped up as 4. Solo kill with the amazing engage, and then follow-up by Pretender's 4-man Yone ult. Just cleans everyone up.
Yeah, the body slam and explosive cask is expended very early on from Rel here. And when the Renata Glass ultimate is down as well, they really don't have any disengage left. And Frank Esports just run them over.
I mean, they've just forced a flash. Can't even enter their own jungle at this point. Feels very, very sad.
Yeah, Frank Esports just keep going. They're not slowing down at all. S9W trapped inside their base. Really nowhere to run anymore. They're pushing down the mid lane and the bot lane with the Baron buff.
Yeah, I think they should be able to end off this. If they can find any sort of engage, they 100% pick up the end here. At worst, it's 2 inhibitors. But I really think that you have enough tools. You can just look to force something. There's plenty of members missing flash here.
Yeah, Kaiwing just walking straight in. He's not taking any damage at all from YJY. Does get the slow side of the solo flare onto YJY, but nothing more than that. YJY's cleanse and ultimate are back up, so it's hopefully going to be able to survive a bit more than 2 seconds in this fight. But you have to wonder if... Oh my goodness, the Spiderling chunks him out of the fight completely. Forced to burn the mark out too, and Pretender just waiting on the sidelines, making sure that S9W don't have any way to engage. Rel here dropped low as well. These guys are just taking turns, going back to the fountain and healing back up. But the Baron and Beheld minions are not stopping at all.
And one tower will go down. The fight still hasn't started by S9. They're slowly bleeding out.
Man,
Kind of have to find an engage, but also you can't really fight. You just don't have any options here as S9.
Yeah, the Spiderlings as the main source of poke really for Frank Esports. Pretender might have an angle here for an ultimate, but does choose to go back. Solo kill, upping the counter strike, stuns up Calumnia. Spiderling once again chunking YJ out again. Rel here dropped very low, drops the explosive cast, but drops down himself. Open Nexus now for S9W. Calumnia getting stunned up by the solar flare. Solo kill just waiting as well. Pretender, they're just so patient, making sure that they don't go in too far. When the YJY trying to perform his own hero player, but Frank Esports gonna close this one out at 23 minutes. S9W just weren't able to find any sort of way back into that game.
Yeah, I think S9W, it sucks. I think that's the most winnable draft that they've had so far, and straight up, they were just outclassed pretty much everywhere. I think that having Aurelia die at level 1 before